G'day and good morning. Got my Belair mug. Got my mug here. How you doing? Just give me a minute or two to position this camera. Got to find the sweet spot. There we go. That should do. One tick. It's a bit high. I have to watch my head for a moment. Let me reposition this. I used my tripod last night, so it's all out of whack. Here at Casa James this morning. There we go. That's a bit better. Let me put that up. Can everyone hear me fine? So another early morning. Not as early as yesterday on my channel, where I did an early morning vlog because my neighbor, as much as I love him, he's been doing construction every day for about a year plus now. And I wanted to get in before the drill and the sounds of all the tools in the background, because a few people complained about the vlog yesterday saying pity about the sound. So good news is Arian did a live stream, her first ever live stream. She didn't actually tell me about this live stream. It was just totally random. There's no one watching, by the way. It's just myself talking with my son. Yeah, I think Arian's more popular than myself. So that was cool. I just want to spend like 20 minutes now just talking about, COVID-19 and what it's like, having a child during this time, because it's been really, really complicated and just annoying, just very frustrating. So not good at all. Actually, I heard a rumor in my office, because I work in a BPO business. And hold on, I need a cushion. The cushions are gone from here, so I can't move because I'm on the live stream. I need a cushion because I don't have any support for my back. But I heard in the BPO office that I work in that actually one of my colleagues, he actually had a child, and that baby contracted COVID-19, which is really, really scary. So it's definitely a hard time to have kids. It's a very troublesome time, just kind of happened this year for us. And I'm glad it did, because we've got our son. I love my son very dearly, and he is year of the rat. Actually, I said to Arian I needed her to wait until the year of the rat, because in Chinese astrology, I am year of the rat. And my son, he is now year of the rat, so he matches me. He is the metal rat. I believe I'm a wood rat in Chinese astrology. So that's kind of, weird facts about Pete and Pete. But yeah, definitely it's been challenging having kids. I think the biggest challenge at the moment is going places like now. Like, if you want to go to a restaurant, if you want to go outside, Arian called me a hood rat. Thanks, babe. You're great. If you want to go outside the base, you want to go outside the city, get through checkpoints, you can't go, because only people can leave their house if they're over the age of 20 and under the age of 60. So there's this age gap thing that you have to be within that range. Yesterday, and we'll do some videos, we'll edit some videos and upload them today most likely, we went to Clark. So I went for, the first time this year to Clark Pampanga, which is really cool. And it's been like 9-10 months probably since we've been to Clark Pampanga. And Clark is great. It's a nice place. Actually, it's a free port like, where we are here. But unfortunately, we could not take our son. We went to a buffet lunch. We went to the buffet lunch at the Marriott. And also we went to the Hyatt Casino. So we're going to produce and edit those two videos today. Yay, that's pretty cool. So I guess the other challenge is, at first, when this lockdown happened, we couldn't go out of the house at all. Now, thankfully, we can walk our son. So we can go walking in our local village here with our baby. But that's about it. Okay, there's not much else we can do now. We did take him to one restaurant for his 6-month birthday. A Japanese restaurant, really nice place. It's our favorite on the base. But since then, restaurants have clarified, and said that children can't, come into the restaurant. So that sucks. It really sucks. So I now know that and won't be going. Actually, another thing that I did not know, we went to Beloy Beach the other day, and in the car, when we were in the car, we didn't wear masks. And the reason we did not wear masks is because we all lived together, so we're close with each other, and I didn't think it was required. But someone actually commented on the vlog and said, in the car when you're driving, if there's more than one person in the car, you supposedly need to wear a mask. So I know that for next time, and next time we will be wearing our masks. I just did not know that. Had I known that, I would have been wearing the mask. What's nice is we got a couple of friends like Adam Beloy and stuff, and we'll probably visit them more often because Pete had a great day out the other day. It was the first time we can get him down to the beach. Ruby had him walking, kind of semi-walking along the beach, which was kind of cool, So the biggest thing for me about this COVID-19 having my son, the travel restrictions, because, and my father, when the baby was first born, he got to meet Pete, but obviously he was very small at that stage, so, he wasn't able to engage with him. So none of my family, my sister, my mum, no one has met my son from my family, apart from my dad when the baby was just born. So that sucks. And, especially in the Philippines, because the coronavirus has been just so terrible, it's like, well, when does my family get to meet my son? Is he going to be 2 or 3 years old? Are they going to miss his first and second birthday? And honestly, I think that is highly likely that, he'll probably be 2+ before he can, meet my dad, his grandfather, my great-grandmother, well, my grandma, his great-grandma, Margie, who makes the best food ever. She makes traditional Australian and British style food, right? And just amazing food. And actually, Margie, I am missing 2 things of yours. I'm missing your pasties and I'm missing your lamb. Actually, we imported some lamb, and yes, first lamb rack I would have had for many, many years. And I'm going to hit up that lamb rack today, and we're going to cook a lamb roast for lunch. So that's going to be nice. Oh, a bit of a breeze today. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Yeah, very nice breeze, actually. But anyway, this might be a short vlog because I tried to be early, but I had to make some coffee and things for Arian this morning and, look after the baby for a little bit. So I'm a little bit late on the vlog. And the reason I like to be early, for those that haven't been watching, is the construction next door, because they're very noisy. So I might just do this for the next 10 minutes. If they start drilling and stuff, I'm going to have to cease vlogging, unfortunately, because it's just too noisy. Yeah. Anyway, do you like this mug? That's another thing. This is the Belair mug. Actually, I like the beach. I'm a bit of a beach baby. I think Pete is too, after going to Beloy Beach the other day. But one of my favorite beaches in the Philippines is Belair. So Boracay I love. Boracay is probably my favorite. I love Boracay, Bohol. But Belair's pretty cool because it's kind of like a little surfy town. It reminds me of Byron Bay or something like that in Australia. So it's really cool place. Very cool, actually. And I really like it. But in this lockdown, this is what really frustrates me, okay? In the Philippines, let me explain. So the government has set rules. And the government set rules and said, like, if you're in, I get confused, I think it's GCQ, right? If you're in GCQ, not in ECQ, then you can go from, GCQ, cities or provinces with GCQ to GCQ. But very, very confusing. So that's what the federal government, right? So, the highest level from the president down has set. But for example, Belair, they have their own rules within their province, so Aurora province. And what they've said is because they haven't had any cases whatsoever of the COVID-19, that you just can't go there unless, you're working there or something like that, or you can prove that you own a property there or have residence there in Belair. So there are certain exceptions, but obviously it's not open for tourists. It's not open for people to want to go and, just randomly do business. I wanted to find a block of land and get out there. I can't even go there. So that's very frustrating. I actually, thankfully, I booked on Airbnb, and Airbnb I like because you're dealing with people, real people, rather than just like a big brand, a big, company, these big hotels. I like to support, small businesses. So I booked on Airbnb in June to go to Belair, and I've got a really good deal because it was COVID-19 to go in June. It was like 60% off the normal price. I think it was 70% off the normal price. And thankfully, and it's a little hut, a house on the beachfront in Belair. So I'm really keen to get down there. Thankfully, the lady was really kind. I've actually had to move my booking 3 times, and she's allowed me to do it for free because she knows we can't get in and it's not our fault. So I booked in June. I had to push it out to August. From August, I pushed it out to, I think, September. But it hasn't. And then what I did was I contacted her recently. I said, look, Duterte's saying, this vaccine, this Russian vodka vaccine is coming. Maybe. Apparently there's trials in Cavite for this Russian vaccine. I don't know how true that is, but someone was telling me that over a beer when I was in the pub the other day. So what I did, I thought, okay, let's be realistic. When's the best time to go? Maybe next year. So January 2021, I said, look, January 1st to like the 7th, can we go there for a week? And she said yes. And I'm ecstatic because usually that period would cost more. It would cost even more. So, she allowed us to rebook for that period. I'm just hopeful that by then, finally, we can get into Belair. Finally. And it's really frustrating me because, I'm a bit of a beach baby, and my hope was to actually try and find, during this pandemic, a nice lot. And it didn't have to be on the beachfront. I would love to be on the beachfront, but I think it's going to cost too much money. But in the provinces, like in the country in the Philippines, like you can buy a lot as cheap as like 10 or 20,000 US dollars. And I have a friend who bought a nice lot. I don't know how big it is. I think it was actually sizable. But he bought a nice lot in Belair for only 10,000 US dollars. Now it's not that close to the beach. It's probably 1.5 kilometers to the beach. So it's a few minutes drive, right? It's not that far. On a motorbike, probably take you 3-4 minutes, maybe, depending on traffic. Maximum 5 minutes. So it's not that bad. So that was my hope, to buy a lot and buy it in my son's name for him because I love him. And it'd be good to build like a house, build a house of our own that's ours. And maybe what I do is then shift us out to Belair. That's what the thought was. So it's a bit more, let me explain. Subic is like a tier 2 city. It's definitely a tier 2 city. It's not tier 1. And look, some areas in Subic, you could argue it's probably tier 3, very province-like. Like if you go further out that way, okay, out towards Zambales. So it really is province. But where we are, we're kind of in the heart of the city. In our estate, it's only like 5 minutes drive to the supermarkets, to the major mall like the Ayala Mall, Harbour Point, etc. So we're really, really lucky as to the location. We really are living kind of like half city, half country life. So we have the best of both. Hey, Belair is different. It is the province. You are in the country, right? And it's like stepping back in time, something like 20, 30 years. Like 30 years, honestly. And it's really cool. Like they have like funky beach shacks. They have, like local style food. Just, it's beautiful. Like some of the beaches are like untouched, virgin beaches. Like, you could walk down the beach naked and I don't even think anyone would care. Most likely because there's no one there. on some of the beaches in Belair and further up the coast in Aurora, right? It is different. Now, I like this movie. It's an older movie. You know, I'm a bit of a movie buff. I like the classics, and it's called Apocalypse Now, right? And Apocalypse Now actually has a very, very famous scene out of that movie where there's like, I think it's the general, and he's handing out surfboards, and I think they're longboards from memory, and he says to the soldier, okay, you either surf or you fight. So you either take a gun or you take a surfboard and surf. And you know, some guys are just taking the surfboards. Actually, that shot, it evolved Belair, because that shot was a very famous shot for the Apocalypse Now film, and that actually, you know, changed Belair, because there was no surfing in Belair. That shot was filmed in Belair, I believe, on Sabang Beach and the coastline there. So actually, when they saw, you know, these people from California filming from Hollywood, you know, with surfboards surfing this Belair beach, you know, they actually left the original surfboards from the movie with the local town, and that started this new trend of people surfing in Belair. So since then, and I think it's, that movie must be like 30 or 40 years old now. Like, it's maybe 40 plus years old. Geez, I have to check. Apocalypse Now. If anyone can Google that and put in the chat when that movie was made. It was a long time ago now. It might have even been the 70s. Might have even been the 70s. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Apocalypse Now. So that started this trend and this movement, this surfy town. And look, I actually, believe it or not, I used to be quite fit. I used to go to a high school by the name of Boston. So I, you know, did carnivals and swimming carnivals and streamers and silly things, and, you know, wrote down the scores and made sure everyone was on time and not slacking and doing their best or whatever. But what I loved about Byron Bay is it's got that surfy vibe, that surfy hippie vibe, similar to like New or something like that. You know, in Australia we've got Byron Bay, which is like kind of a hippie surfy, you know, style. And honestly, that's what Belair is like. And I went there for the first time, and I'm like, wow, this feels like home. And like I said, there's no big malls there. There's no, you know, big food chains. There's no McDonald's. There's no KFC. There's none of that. You know, it's like you go there and they have this local produce. Oh, what is that? That's a big lizard in my tree. I just seen this huge lizard. It might be a snake, actually. Oh my God, what was that? Moved very quickly, wrapped around the tree. Anyway, that threw me. But like, for example, like some of the resorts, these beach style resorts, like they have bean bags. You hang out on these bean bags, right? It's really funky. It's really cool. But we can't go there. They have really nice, like, local food, like Filipino traditional cuisine, and it was good, really good. Like sinigang, they had tinola. The tinola was just amazing, and they had this other one where they get local fruits and local veg, and they make 1979. Thank you, Mark. So 1979. That is about 40 years. Yeah, so I'm about right. It's about 40 years old now. So yeah, this trend, this surfy culture has been going on for 40 years. So now, you know, Belair is seen as a really cool, you know, funky surf town. Anyway, enough about that. You know, they make these great shakes. You know, the banana and peanut butter was my favorite. So Arian actually makes it for me now, and we got those banana and peanut butter shakes, like local natural shakes, you know, from Belair. Really cool. So I was keen to get down there, but I can't. Next thing is, what else is killing me about it? I think it's just the fear, the sheer fear. And in the first, like, I think 2+ months, maybe 10, 12 weeks, we weren't allowed to leave unless you went to the supermarket to get, you know, supplies, food, and you needed a quarantine pass. We no longer need that quarantine pass, so we can travel and move around a bit more freely, which is cool. But it still is just like highly restrictive. Like I said, we can only go to certain areas. If you're over 60, you can't get into certain places like restaurants. You can't get into the casino. You can't get into a lot of places. Another thing that's just happened recently, you have to wear a mask. But the new initiative here in the Philippines, here in this area, if you want to go in the supermarket, you must wear a mask and a face shield. So you've got to wear a mask and a face shield. And look, I've worn this face shield with the mask, and it is huge, and it's hot. Like the sun beats down on you, and it's hot, and it feels like you can't even breathe. And afterwards, your skin gets really dry. It's horrible. It's horrible. But look, that's the requirement. Like actually, they wouldn't let me into the supermarket the other day without it. I was like, okay, okay, well, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'll just obey. Whatever. It's probably a good thing. I don't want, my son getting sick. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get this pandemic. I'm not getting this, right? So, probably, yeah, I do need to tighten up and wear my face shield and stuff. Not here at home, obviously. Not if there's no people around. But if there's no people around, yeah, okay, fine. Wear the mask and face shield. And apparently now, if you are on public transport and you don't wear the face shield, you can get in strife too. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks because, like Pete growing up, usually, what I would expect is he goes to like kindergarten. A lot of the schools have kind of shut down, you know, that sort of thing. Um, he's not going to have that interaction, that engagement with other kids, which really sucks. I think that really sucks, and I think it could be until like, you know, maybe primary school where he actually gets the chance to even go to school and meet other children. Because at the moment, like, you can't meet people. People are standoffish. This pandemic really is very antisocial, and I'm worried about the impacts it will have on my son's life, and also the fear that I or him could get sick, or I could get sick and pass it to him, and potentially it's devastating. I mean, can kill. It can cause death. People can die. I was just watching a video earlier saying from a doctor, I think it was from Chicago, in Chicago or something, saying that I think it's something crazy like if you go into the ICU, your chance of survival is only 50%. So like, if you go into intensive care, for the COVID-19, like 50% of people are dying. So that's crazy. And what scares me is that's the United States. What about the Philippines? I mean, I got to be honest, not knocking the Philippines or anything, but the health system here is far worse. The health system here is scary. Like, we had a health scare earlier this year with my son, really bad health scare. And he was in ICU for the first 2 weeks after being born. And that was horrible. That was a horrible, horrible experience. For 2 weeks, getting no sleep, being stressed out, worried if my son would even survive. That was a horrible experience. So yeah, 2020 has been really, really rough, very stressful. You can see probably the lines are becoming more defined. I'm only 35, by the way, but I'm starting to look like I'm 45. Just with all the stress. Look at these bags under my eyes. And actually, I slept okay last night. I get to bed early. I go to bed early these days, and I rise early. So I go to bed 9, 10 at the latest. I usually get up 6 or 7 a.m. During weekdays, 5:30, 6 a.m. because I need to for work. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is just me having a bit of a rant today about having kids during COVID-19. My friend Dwayne Woolley, he's got a channel. He's pretty famous. And look, he's having a rough time because he was living in a small studio in Manila, and he just had a son, and he's saying, he can't sleep. They're stuck in the unit. They can't leave this little unit because, of the pandemic. It's crazy. And he actually announced on his YouTube channel that he's going to leave the Philippines. And he's like one of the Philippines' biggest vloggers. And he's going to leave because of this pandemic back to Australia. Look, for me, I'm a bit hardcore. I'm kind of invested. I'm kind of like one of those generals who would be like, if I was a general, I was in the military, it's like, okay, we got this fight, right? Here's the bridge. I would blow the bridge up so we couldn't return. So I'd say to my soldiers, listen, it's victory or death. So we've got to win here. It's kind of like that. So that's what I've done. And I think my family thinks I'm absolutely crazy back home in Australia because, I could come home anytime if I wanted to, but it's victory or death. That's what it is. So I've chosen victory. I've chosen that we will be victorious here in the Philippines, and that we are not series before. I mean, we almost gave up. We almost split up. We almost, honestly, our relationship almost ended. It was bad. It was like level 10 bad. Like code red, code red. It was bad. So, this coronavirus, almost broke us, but it also kept us together because we're stuck in the same house. We kind of had to get along. Because, yeah, I guess, if I could travel freely, I probably would have left. Maybe. I might have just had a holiday and come back. But, possibilities. It's possible. Maybe, it has been in some way helpful and beneficial to our relationship. But overall, no, it's been horrible. Having a child during this pandemic sucks. Like, it sucks big time. But look, like I said, we're here to stay in the Philippines. We're here to stay in the Philippines and, be victorious. We want to win. I was also hoping to stay because I was hoping to buy some land, like I said, in Belair or something for my son. But property prices haven't really come down much. It is more of a buyer's market now, absolutely, because there's less buyers in the market. So more people wanting to sell and less people wanting to buy. So yeah, unless prices come back drastically, I don't want to buy anything. So someone said something about Bill Gates. Like, okay, I'd like to see some evidence because I watched this, protest about Berlin and London, early this morning, I watched a protest because a mate told me about this protest in Berlin and London. There's like thousands of people. In Germany, in Berlin, there looks like millions of people, like just flooding the streets protesting. I don't even think they're wearing masks. It's hard to see because it's from a distance. Protesting that this is a scandemic, that it's fake, that it's the Illuminati, that it's Bill Gates or whatever. I don't know. I'd like to see some evidence to make an informed decision for myself. But in the Philippines, we're genuinely scared. I mean, like, health system isn't good here. It's pretty rough, the health system. It is a bit scary. Definitely scary. Hospital here, you don't want to go to hospital here. So I want to play it safe. And you know what? I haven't been playing it that safe. In the first 3 months, yeah, we were stuck at home. But then I kind of, started going crazy. I needed to get out. So we've been a bit more laxed. But I think we need to be more moderate and have a better balance for sure. Oh, look who's here. Hello. Oh, honey, he's got a rash at the back of his head. What is that? Did you see that?
It's birthmark.
The birthmark? I never noticed that. It's big.
You never noticed.
I never noticed that. No, I think I maybe seen it before, but maybe I thought it was a rash.
He has it for a long
All right,
time.
so Arian is here. Do you want to sit down, babe? Arian is here. I'll get rid of these water bottles. Arian wants to say hello. And the baby wants to say g'day. Hello.
Hi. Oh, my hair.
All right, let me move back a bit so
My
we
hair
can
looks so
fit
messy.
everyone in. There we go. There we go, there we go. Actually, I'm happy, I'm thankful because it's not so noisy next door with the construction. So,
Sunday.
yeah, well, I'm glad there's not much going on, not much drilling or anything like that. Thankful, very thankful. Thank you, buddy. All right, just putting that down, getting into position. All right, Aaron, do you want to, what's it like having, a baby during this pandemic? What's the restrictions? What's happened? Tell people, how is it living in the Philippines during this pandemic, having a newborn son this year in 2020? What's your thoughts?
It's hard because you want to go out with your baby. You want to travel with your baby. Sometimes even walking is hard for us because
Well, at first you weren't allowed to walk whatsoever.
I think
Yeah.
even now because
Oh, really?
we just walked recently.
Yeah,
Me and Ate Wilma.
I thought we were allowed to walk.
And then they're asking us to put mask on the baby. I said no way.
Yeah, well, he might get sick. Yeah,
But
he might not be
baby is
breathing
not
properly.
like
Yeah,
I can't breathe properly if
Yeah.
he's going to wear a mask. How will that
he's
work?
only 6 months old.
And for sure he'll just grab it, just remove the mask. He's not old enough to know that he has to wear the mask. So
No, eat it.
I'm
He
just
eats
like,
everything.
okay, maybe just not walk.
Yeah, well, that's terrible. Are you serious?
Yeah,
I thought we could walk now. I'm
I
confused.
thought as well, but they asked us
I
to
just
wear
said
masks.
on the vlog, I'm pretty sure we can walk now. Before we couldn't, but we should be able to walk now, right?
Yeah.
If anyone has further information, please comment below. But I thought we can. Let me just tilt that upwards. So I
So they
can
said we
get it a
can, but
bit.
he has to wear a mask. So how could he wear a mask?
How can you wear masks, son?
For sure, he's just going to remove it.
So Travel Snob says, seems like a huge power grab. I don't know, it is getting suspicious to me, like what's going on. Maybe it is about control. Maybe like this David Icke guy talking about reptilian shapeshifters. No, seriously, maybe he's not crazy after all. Maybe seriously, like we are, how would we know if these like world leaders, these billionaires aren't like, aliens or reptilian shapeshifters, putting some crazy vaccine into us with a microchip? No, seriously, to track us, or an on and off switch. Like if we did the wrong thing or said the wrong thing, they can hit off, turn us off, and we die. That could happen. Seriously, seriously. Yeah, I had a look at Alex Jones. I've watched Alex Jones. I've watched David Icke. I used to be really big into the conspiracy theories, but it kind of drove me crazy. So I stopped, you know, spending a lot of time on it because it was just driving me mental. Hello, shh.
You want to drink?
I saw it
coffee?
and I went to grab it, but luckily you grabbed it first. He's just so grabby. Do you see that? He grabbed the coffee, grabbed my coffee. Huh? I was going to grab it, but you got it first, babe. Lucky. Naughty. Very naughty. Huh? What are you doing now? What are you trying to grab now? He's so cute, huh? Just like his father. Very handsome. So come on. What's your thoughts? Tell us more about this pandemic.
Oh, it's hard because every time you panic, when you go out, you have to. It's every time you go out, you have, and then when you go back, you have to wash. You have to shower. You have
You
to
have to
make
wash and
sure
shower,
that
change your clothes.
change your clothes. You just you just don't want to risk it. And
Well, you have these checkpoints, and we haven't, because our understanding is we couldn't get through the checkpoint if you're over 60 or under 20. So we haven't taken the baby through the checkpoints, and the checkpoints are very make me feel uncomfortable because here in the Philippines it's the military. They got M16s and grenades and machine guns and stuff right at the checkpoints. So like it's almost like martial law, really. Like even, okay, I'll give you an example. Even now in Barreto, certain areas like Barreto, there is a curfew, and that curfew is 7 p.m. Doesn't that sound like martial law to you? There's a curfew at 7 p.m. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, like, all the bars now are shutting at 6 p.m. Like, venues, like restaurants, closing at 6. The supermarket, the local butcher, I talked to the local butcher, they said they're closing at 5, right? They're closing at 5 because, they want to get home in time and they've got a long distance to travel to get home, and they've got to be safe in their houses by 7 p.m. Because after 7 p.m., then, the military patrols. I was driving after 7 the other day. All the lights turned off, all the businesses turned off the light. There's no lights, just dark. And you see like police and military with machine guns roaming around. That's scary, man. Like, that's really, really scary, dude. Like, my God, like 7 p.m. is way too early. I can understand 10 or something, but 7 p.m.? It's like martial law. I'm just saying. Like, and people, and especially expat foreigners, are scared to say it. But I'm gonna say it. It's scary. It's scary. Luckily, and I'm gonna pass the baby back. Right, luckily for us, we live in the Freeport. We don't live in Barreto, so we don't have the 7 p.m. curfew. Like I said, and this is the other thing. What's upsetting me is you have federal laws, and federal law should override state or local laws like province law. but like some of these provinces have their own rules, their own restrictions. So, you know, when you add all that, it becomes very, very confusing. And then when you want to travel from one location to the next, all right, baby, maybe take him inside. He's getting restless. When you want to travel from one location to the next, it makes it really, really difficult because, you know, you've got all these rules and you don't know if you go to the next town, if you go to the next area, can you even get in? Is that allowed? Are you committing a crime? Are you a criminal? You know, that's what's getting to me. Like, it really is, I'll be honest. This whole thing is getting to me. All right, I'm going to face the camera up here. Hold on one sec. I'm going to stand. I need to stand up for this. Aaron's on the hammock. Aaron's in the hammock. Trying to get the whole family in the picture. Hold on. Oh, wait. Let me tilt that down just a tad. Get my coffee. Yeah, there we go. So Aaron's kind of in the picture. I'm in the picture. Or maybe just a tad low so I can get Aaron in the hammock.
Oh, baby Pete.
So we're here at Casa James, yes. You know, we're trying to play it safe. We're spending most of our time indoors, right? Indoors during this whole COVID-19 situation, you know. So yeah, like I did research that Spanish flu. I don't know, is this the next Spanish flu? You know, is there going to be great depressions to come, etc.? Who knows? It's getting bad. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop because the machinery in the background, I've just heard that loud machinery from the construction next door. And when that happens, like my head, oh my God. And I don't even know if you can hear me properly because there's like sawing and drilling next door now. Anyway, I wanted to keep talking, but all I'm saying is, man, it's crazy having a kid now. You know, like if you're planning to have a kid now, you know, obviously it doesn't matter if the child's unplanned, but, you know, don't. Just wait until things cool down, maybe 2021, maybe even 2022, who knows? Like, maybe wait a bit. I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, like, it's been rough. Like, I'm so happy that I had my son, and look, it just happened, and I'm grateful for having my baby, but it's just super challenging having a baby, you know, and in here, especially here in the Philippines, and the numbers, like some days crazy in the Philippines, you know, we've had some days of like 6,000, 7,000 people infected in one day here in the Philippines, which is really, you know, just frightening. It is, we are fearful. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm fearful. I'm scared, you know. I don't want to get sick. I don't want my baby to get sick, you know.
He's trying to speak.
Pete, what do you have to say? What do you have to say
What do you
about
wanna
this?
say?
Huh?
Hmm?
What do you have to say?
What do you want to say, huh? Hmm?
I'll
Tell
get a
them
stool.
something. Tell them something. Hmm? Hmm? Hi. Hi. Say hi to everyone. Hi.
Say something, babe. Come on. I'm trying to get the stool.
Say something. I'm not saying it.
Giving up on you. That's how the
Giving
song
up
goes.
on
Is that what you're saying?
you. Say something.
Got the
Say
stool.
it.
I like that hammock. That hammock looks fun. But definitely, one, I won't fit on it, and two, if I sat on it, I'll probably break my neck. Just saying. Hello, son. How are you this morning? See, this is Daddy Daycare. Daddy's got you working at 6 months old. See? That's the kind of father I am, you know. Work, be strong. You're working, huh? You're on TV. Say hello. 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 You're a movie star, son.
Sorry.
I hope he does become a movie star, and I hope he is extroverted, not introverted. I don't want him to be shy like his mother. Actually, when I first met Iron, she was a really, really shy, super shy girl. Actually, I didn't think I would be dating her because she was so shy, to be honest. Yeah, funny how things work out, though. Yeah. What's up, buddy? You want to go play?
If you go back, would you like escape from me?
You can't. She says, if I go back, would I still be with her? I can't say that. Obviously, I want to still have my child. You know,
run away from me?
I can't say go same timeline. That's not fair because I've had my baby. You know, like of course I want to do the same thing. You know, life's good. Life's good. You know, can't complain really. But anyway, it is this bloody pandemic. That's the only challenge at the moment. But we were thankful. Actually, I will say this. We had to leave the baby at home yesterday. Had to leave babe at home because, you know, he can't get through the checkpoints. He can't travel. But we went to the Marriott, the Clark Marriott yesterday, who had a special. It's like 40% off on the buffet. And it's not like a regular buffet. They bring it to you. You have a list, kind of like yum cha or, you know, those Chinese, you know, yum cha where they deliver the food to you. You know, they run back and forth and bring the food to you. But we were really thankful, kind of like our date day, because the baby was at home. Ruby looked after the baby, and we went to the Marriott. So I did a video on that, and we'll have the edit out within the next day. We'll have it posted, and you guys can see that, because it was really good. And it's not going to last long. I think it only lasts till Tuesday, the 40% discount for the Marriott buffet. So, you know, if you want to go to the Marriott, go today or go tomorrow, you know, before the end of the month, because after that, you know, it goes from 1,000 peso to something like 19 or 1,800 peso for the all you can eat.
But you have to you have to make reservation first, right?
Yeah, you have to make a reservation. Yeah.
So you can contact them via Facebook.
Yeah, you gotta Facebook them, Clark Marriott.
Oh yes, baby, yes.
You're very loud.
Just like
He's
you.
trying to talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I understand.
Yeah, so it's a bit glary here. I can hardly see myself. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. Maybe.
Is people watching us still?
I don't even know because it's so glary. I can't even see. Maybe everyone's left already. Should I try this hammock? Should I try it?
Yeah, you're gonna break it.
Son, do you want to get in the hammock with me?
There's 6 people watching.
Alright, well, a few people have left. I think it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Oh, there's 8.
Oh, really? No. Oh, yes, there's 8.
Oh, it's increasing.
Well, look, I think it's time to wrap up anyway. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Have an awesome day. Happy Sunday. You know, happy Sunday from the James family here at Castle James. Double thumbs up. And bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. That was fun.